I thought this was an appropriate picture. So I was watching Digital Gnosis yesterday, and he was interviewing Jimmy Akin, a popular Catholic apologist. And the title of Digital Gnosis channel would be in the description, a link to his channel, an atheist channel, which I'm fond of. And I also like Jimmy Akin. I think he's a pretty nice guy. But I decided to ask or send in a super chat about, well, let's just take a look.
I liked it a lot. Because one of the things he talks about as well is, I think there's some quote from an atheist philosopher who says something like, isn't there just a silver bullet to put an end to all the nonsense or something, in terms of, like a lot of people have thought, well, maybe we can just do away with theistic explanations by, just saying, well, they're not contrastive, for example, because whatever happens, is what you say, God kind of did. And if something, it doesn't tell you why that happened rather than something else. And he's like, well, here's a bunch of problems with that kind of, like response that someone might give. It doesn't, and I think it's a really fair and good look at explanation and the kind of like virtues that we should have in them in good explanations. Jamie asks, can I become a Catholic and keep Saturday Sabbath?
Well, Saturday is the Sabbath. The church acknowledges that. It's not a day on which Christians are required to worship, because it's a ritual requirement that was given to the Jewish people before the time of Christ. So they were obliged to observe the Sabbath, which is Saturday. Christians celebrate the Lord's Day, the day of the Lord's resurrection, and we thereby fulfill the same underlying moral principle of let's devote adequate time to rest and to the corporate worship of God. So the same moral principles are being cashed out on a different day on the calendar. In terms of, if you want to go to Mass on Saturday to fulfill your Sunday obligation, you can do that. If you go to Mass on Saturday evening, it will count for your Sunday obligation. So absolutely, you want to do Saturday Mass, you can do
that. Just a couple more questions.
So Saturday evening is not on Saturday Sabbath, first off. And I'm not sure a ritual law is a moral principle law. Kind of conflating the two there. He admits it's a moral principle and part of the Ten Commandments, yet he opens by referring to it as a ritual. And if that is the case, and it is a ritual law, and Jesus fulfills it, why are you keeping a Sunday Sabbath? So is it a moral principle or a ritual? Is it a ceremonial law or is it a moral law? Well, it seems to me it's in the moral law. It seems to me like he admitted, essentially, in a roundabout way, Saturday is the Sabbath, yet Christians keep a Sabbath. And that's what I don't get about that answer, is Catholics are covenant theology. So I think he's being overly apologetic there. Maybe not spacing the reality of the official position very well. I'd like to press him a little bit more on that. Is it a ritual law? Is it a ceremonial law? Or is it a moral principle? If it's Christians don't do that anymore, why make it part of the moral law on Sunday? And again, Saturday evening is not Saturday Sabbath. It's Friday evening till sundown on Saturday evening. Also, I don't really want to do Mass on that day. But I would also argue the Lord's Day is the Sabbath day. But that's disputable. I do not believe any Christians in the New Testament were meaning to call the Lord's Day a new Sabbath. That's for sure. It's possible, if I'm generous, I think, to say it's possible that the Lord's Day could have been referring to Sunday because he rose from the dead on Sunday, although that's not even clear by the text that he rose on the actual day after the Sabbath. it refers to the day after the Sabbath, and that they at sunbreak they arrived and he was already risen. Does it mean to say that he was risen on the day after the Sabbath, or that it was the day after the Sabbath and they found that he was already risen? Interesting question. Most people want to say it was Sunday, so you get that third day in there, but there's other ways of rendering that. But at any rate, what God makes holy, no man can undo, and it's not in Scripture. So I want to encourage my Protestant friends to consider that. Information to Jimmy Akin's channel and Nathan from Digital Gnosis' channel will be available in the description. God bless.